So LL Cool J, you guys just got your third consecutive Emmy nomination for Lip Sync Battle. Congratulations on that. Let me ask you, in the 4 years this show's been on the air, how has it evolved, changed, and gotten better?
You know what? We've just been having a lot of fun. As the seasons went on and fans responded to the show more and more, we added a little more production value to give the guests, the guest stars an opportunity to do whatever they want, because they were making a lot of requests and asking for different productions. So we kind of upped the ante a little bit for them just to make it more fun for them. But, we just been, just having a good time. I get to work with Chrissy every day, have a ball. I mean, it's real laid back. It's cool. That's
you were both
the main thing. That would probably be the only thing. Other than that, just having fun, not taking it too serious. And, I don't know how we got here. We just here,
Now, you were both one of the hosts on the show, along with Chrissy Teigen, and also one of the producers. So can you talk a bit about how you have grown in your duties in both capacities?
As a host, I try to just really make it about the guests and really just have fun. I'm a fan of music. And the scenario, it's so ridiculous that you enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so fun. Like, everybody does it. So it's, for me as the host, the main thing is just to keep the show moving, keep it flowing, and not try to make myself the center of attention. In terms of producing, I mean, that's really more about, saying, hey, what do you think of those chairs? I mean, first of all, Casey Patterson is amazing. She does an amazing job. Excuse me one second. Guys, I'm doing an interview. Stop working under the hood of the car for a minute. Please. Thank you. And don't drop anything else. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, that's people downstairs working. They're crazy. Anyway, yeah. So, and being a producer is really about getting on the phone. Will you get on the phone, and call people and ask, and just when I see people at parties, just, seeing who wants to come play with us, who wants to come hang out. That's really what it's about. And then just giving my input wherever it's needed. I mean, like I said, Casey Patterson does an amazing job. Jay Peterson does a great job. I just give them my input when's needed. I'm totally candid and honest about, song selections, what I think a person should maybe perform if they haven't chosen something themselves, giving suggestions, and just trying to keep the whole thing flowing and make sure that I feel good about everything that's happening.
Well, you are an experienced host. You've hosted the Grammys quite a few times, for instance. I wonder, I mean, how does that experience help prepare you to host this show? Or, I mean, what are some of the differences in those kinds of hosting duties?
Well, they are very different in the fact that, just in terms of the fact that, the Grammys as a show is a fun show, but it takes itself a little more seriously. It is, I would say arguably music's biggest night. And it's a very important show for artists who are out there performing their music, musicians bringing their music to the forefront and really making their dreams come true. Lip Sync Battle, on the other hand, is us playing. We're having fun. This is like an opportunity for, people who may be accomplished in other fields to be a rock star for a night. You know what I mean? To come out, hang out, have fun, and go crazy. So there are differences, but as a host on both shows, it's always important just to keep it seamless, keep it smooth, keep it flowing, and have a good time with it.
You mentioned being involved in song selection. I had a couple of questions about that. First of all, tell us a little bit about how you select these songs. What is your criteria?
Let me clarify. I said only if they, need a suggestion,
I see.
want a suggestion. The guests pick their own music because everybody comes from different experiences, right? Like, you'll have somebody who's raised in Iowa and grew up on a different type of music, or someone who was raised somewhere else and has something that's close to them, or they're all fans of different music. So it's not about me just saying you're going to do this, or we don't say you're going to do this or you're going to do that. The guests come on and they choose that.
Right. Well, the other thing I wanted to ask you about that was recently I saw you said something about how you'd like to have an Aretha Franklin tribute for the show. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, that's just something that came up. Obviously, may she rest in peace.
Yes.
I mean, I got the opportunity to meet her at the Clinton inaugural performance on the Mall that Quincy Jones produced. I forget the exact name, but it was an unbelievable event, and it was the inauguration, and she was just so spectacular and so special, and just such a wonderful artist, right? So it would be great to just have people out there, having fun and paying tribute to her music. We did something really great, I think, for Michael Jackson. We did a Michael Jackson tribute, and it's always nice to just celebrate the artist, really celebrate the artist.
Since you brought up having met her, I'm going to have to ask, I mean, can you share a little bit more about what it was like meeting Aretha Franklin? What was she like as a person?
Her energy, her vibe, just a really warm person. I mean, the talent part is obvious, but you just knew something was special about her when you meet her. At least that's how I felt. She's just a really, really nice. There's some pictures floating around of us at a couple of different events, and you could always see I was kind of in awe a little bit. I was a little bit in fanboy mode, but she was the queen, so may she rest peacefully.
Well, people like Aretha Franklin, Michael Jackson, what are those qualities that they have that make them not just great artists, but also, these icons who, we miss them when they're gone?
I think humility, I think humility, I think obviously talent and a willingness to share your talent with the world, because you have a lot of people who are talented, but they're not really willing to share their talent with the world. You have people that kind of keep their talent close to the vest, and you don't hear as much about them, but they were very giving as artists, very sharing, went out there on the road, did the things that were needed for us as fans to really enjoy them and embrace them. And I think that that's part of it, and then, you got to be gifted. I mean, when you get touched, when the Almighty or when the Muse touches you and just, gives you that little thing, whatever that is. I don't know what it is. I mean, none of us really know what it is, because if we knew what it was, we would just create, we would just manufacture it over and over again, and everybody would give their kid a little, you know what I mean? Yeah. But it's just something special about them.
For you, what were some highlights from this last season? Some really standout episodes that you guys had?
I had fun the whole time. I really did. I had fun the whole time. I've been, every season, feels like it's been one long season. It doesn't feel like there was a first season, second season, like you would, let's say maybe in a drama, or third season, fourth season, like you would feel in a sitcom. This has been so much entertainment that the very first episode was as fun as, the Michael Jackson tribute, and, Christina Aguilera tribute was fun, and just so many. There was a lot of great ones. I mean, from when, Channing and Jenna came out and Beyonce came out to you name it. I mean, it was just great television to me. I just found it real entertaining, and every moment to be compelling and fun, One
of the great things about this show is that, it really benefits from this YouTube age that we live in. I mean, your guys's bits and your performances perform really well in isolation, and so people aren't just watching the show live; they're also like watching it over and over again, different moments from it, on YouTube or on the internet. Can you talk a bit about, is the show designed to sort of live in that universe so that people don't have to just watch it live? Or
I would love to say that we were so smart, but the reality is that just kind of happened. It was like a happy accident, man. It just we did a show that kind of lends itself to that world, and maybe that's just because all of us as creators, and maybe because it originally Jimmy Fallon, originally when John Krasinski and Steve Merchant created it and took it to Fallon, it was like a bit. So maybe it being a bit, then we kind of, I guess the word would be, extrapolated it, or kind of grew it into a more formal show, but it still had that bit element, and it kind of, it lended itself to traveling. But, to sit here and claim that we were in a laboratory and we like somehow came up with like the super duper viral formula. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that.
Calling me a liar because I don't know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? It was what it was. You know, it worked. It happened. We're grateful for it. We enjoy it. We know what we're doing. We know the show we're making. We're not clueless about it, but you know, sometimes things just work. You know what I mean? Nobody can, you know, if everybody knew why everything worked, then everything would be working. There's a lot of liars out there.
It really is a happy accident, though. I mean, that, you know, this show can translate, you know, in the way that we watch TV these days. You know, people can enjoy it on the
way we're talking now. This is our world now. So yeah, you're right. You
know, where do you think the popularity of this show? I went to an FYC event you guys had. I don't know if it was this year or last year, but they gave me a T-shirt that I wear to the gym every so often, and people kind of point and say, "Hey, you know, I know that." Where do you think the popularity for this show comes from with audiences?
You know what? I think that, you know, we all sing in the shower. You know, even me, even guys, you know, famous rap dudes. Sing in the shower, and we all sing in our cars, and we all, you know, they're just common things that we as human beings do. And you know, who wouldn't want to be, you know, out there rocking, lip syncing, being a superstar for a night with the fans screaming in a different arena. So I think that it's pretty natural what we're doing. You know, I think it's been going on for years. I think, you know, when Tom Cruise sang "Take That Old Record Off the Shelf" and slid in his underwear, and I think what was that, Risky Business?
Risky Business, yeah.
When he slid in, or not take that out, when he slid in there, I think we knew that lip syncing was a thing from then. You know, I just think it works. It's just fun to be silly. It's fun to know that, you know, somebody's not taking themselves seriously. They're not, you know, giving you a PowerPoint presentation about their doctorate dissertation. They're just having a ball, you know what I mean? Having some fun, and that's a good feeling, you know?
Before we go, I wanted to ask you were just honored at the Kennedy Center, you know, and I think if you're not the youngest person who's done it, you're just about a year shy of it. What did that recognition mean for you, and what was that evening like?
It was the most amazing night of my career in terms of awards and things like that, because I mean, it's the highest honor that I could achieve or hope to achieve as an artist. There may be a couple of medals or something, but I mean, that was the one, and I'm very, very grateful for that. So, you know, to know that I touched, you know, my music touched American culture on that level, and that my contribution to hip hop culture, my contribution to the foundation of classic hip hop, and it becoming the juggernaut that it is today, and for me to be celebrated that way was an amazing feeling. Because a lot of times, you know, the classic artists and the pioneers, they're forgotten about. You know what I mean? So it feels good to be recognized on that level, on that platform, on that level, on the world's biggest stage like that. It was an unbelievable feeling, you know. And that's why, like, what now my thing I have with Rock the Bells, I'm doing that, trying to do that for the other artists. I'm making sure that, you know, that people know all of the artists, that they not only, they know Beasties and they know M and they know, you know, some Jay-Z and some of those guys, but they need to know Cool G Rap and Big Daddy Kane, and make sure Slick Rick gets his props, and Dougie Fresh and the Crash Crew and the Treacherous Three and Kumo D and, you know, Cannabis, and just like making sure that all of these classic hip hop artists are heard. That's my new mission, just to make sure I lift the culture up the way the culture lifted me up. So I'm trying to pay it forward now with Rock the Bells, and it's a hell of a feeling, you know what I mean? Because I'm passionate about it. You know, it's not like I'm just, you know, it's like some kind of, you know, just a pure social charity thing. Like, I love doing it, you know what I mean? So it feels good.
Well, we're grateful for it. Let me tell you, LL Cool J, thank you so much for your time, and congratulations on another Emmy nomination, another great season of Lip Sync Battle.
Thank you. I'd like to thank the Academy. Thank you, man. Peace.
Have a good one.